So folks, yes, another classical, but this is one that we haven't had on this channel. And this actually sounds a bit better than the last two. No, it's not better in terms of materials, it just sounds better. I don't know why. This is a Valencia CG160. I may have had one other Valencia over the years, but this is the first time I've had one of these. And it looks like spruce, but slab cut. It might be another wood. It's very, very much slab. I don't know if you can pick up the figure on there. There's no grain. So it could be basswood as well. And very typical sort of dark, possibly catalpa basswood mahogany. I wouldn't be surprised if this is all basswood, but it sounds all right. The board is stained, and we have those ugly brass frets again. So it is very entry level. I see these going anywhere between 50, 60, 70 pounds. Probably similar in dollars. And there's the V on the headstock. So it's not high end. It's a good, credible loaner guitar. I suppose if you get prolific on one of these, you're probably going to want to upgrade after a while. I think it'll get you going. But I don't think that it's going to be satisfactory for too long. And that's the case with a lot of these cheap budget classical guitars. We've talked about them a lot in recent months and weeks. And this is another example. What usually you find on these, as per my last couple of videos, these brass frets often have sharp edges. It's never usually all of them. It's usually one or two, sometimes up by the body joint up here. There's a couple of sharp frets up there. Sometimes you have, because these are stained, you get bald spots on the fretboard, but this one doesn't have that, so that's all right. The strings need to be changed. Everything is glued down as well as it should. It's not humped across the bridge. Action is a tiny bit high, but it's a classical, so probably just needs a millimeter or so off the saddle, not much more than that. But yeah, you're good to go with one of these. I see a lot of Valencias cropping up, both on the UK and the US site, so it is sort of a global brand. And they do have one or two higher end guitars, but for the most part they are budget, student orientated company. So here you go. This is a Valencia CG160 classical guitar. I think it stacks up well versus the Encore and the Infante, the BG Infante that I had in the last video, and other brands that I've had over the recent months. It seems to me that, you know, when you get to these charity shop level guitars, and this one is going to go to charity, by the way, you find just a lot of nylon strung guitars. It seems to be the guitar that a lot of people buy their kids to start, because you can pick them up for 40, 50, 60 quid. And, you know, a lot of times if the person doesn't stick at it, it ends up in a cupboard or a closet at full tension, and you get this sort of slight warpage which throws everything out of whack and usually raises the action on the strings. This one's not too bad. I can remedy this one, get it in the shop. It came with a gig bag as well, so that's cool. And we'll move it on, give the money to charity. So here you go, Valencia, named after the city in southern Spain, where there's a great guitar making tradition, called kind of like Cordoba is named after another region of Spain, and Sevilla I think has a brand as well. This has really nothing to do with the city. It's just probably a Chinese maker using a Spanish name to sort of you know, as a marketing gimmick. It's quite common. You see this a lot. You see guitars named Cremona with a C, with a K. You know, all kinds of Italian names for guitars that are not, oh, sorry, violins that are not Italian. Same with guitars, particularly in the Spanish tradition. You get a use of Hispanic names. Really doesn't have anything to do with the place, other than, of course, the classical guitar tradition springs from that region, and there's a whole history of lutherie from those towns. But this is nowhere near that sort of quality. So, you know, they're sort of taking the mickey by using the name a little bit, but, you know, it probably helps them marketing-wise. All right, folks, there you go. Another cheap classical for you. See you on the next one.